ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. And by bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry giant on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Ashish Kansal. He is a distinguished professional with an exceptional career spanning 27 years in the realms of sales, marketing, pre-sales, and business development in the IT and defense industries. He is an MBA graduate from the Institute for Technology and Management, Mumbai, and holds a Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering from Guru Nanak Dev University, Punjab. His current role as Senior Deputy General Manager in the Product Support Department at Bharat Electronics Limited, that is BEL, underscores his dedication to the organization's growth. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Ashish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
So could you walk us through the key milestones in your 27 years professional journey, highlighting significant roles and achievements?
Well, yes. My journey of, in fact, not 27, but it is about 30 years now, has been very exciting and very eventful. I would say that ever since I started working in the early 90s, the technology, that is the IT technology, had just stepped into our country. And my first company where I worked or should I say, brought in networking and computerization into the country. People started using computers in their offices. People started using computers at homes, home offices, and for their financial businesses, for their other applications, administrative functions. Then a few years down the line, the networking concepts started in a big way, wherein the organizations tried to imbibe this culture of networking computers in their offices, in their multiple buildings, in their remote locations, either through internet or through BSNL or MTNL lease lines. That was my second work in a company. Then during the late 90s, the government of India allowed SATCOM industry to grow. I mean, the introduction of private players in the SATCOM industry started to come in. And that is where I was, wherein, in fact, I was working for one of the multinationals who was the pioneer in India in the field of private industry to provide SATCOM services. So that is where I was. So I kept pace with the technology as it grew in the country. Then in the year 2000, I joined the defense industry, and that is where I am since then. And I have seen the growth of defense industry as well in the last 20 odd plus years in terms of technology. Where things were being done manually, now everything is being automated. Everything is being remotely monitored and controlled, and decision-making is much, much faster, right? Some of the key milestones and achievements that I would want to narrate for the viewers is that I have been an achiever right through my beginning of my career. I have got promotion on confirmation. I have got also many firsts to my credit, wherein I was the first one to introduce large ticket projects for the companies where I worked for. or entry into large organizations where the business was not there earlier. So I was instrumental in bringing business for the company from those large organizations, which continued over a period of time. Then when I jumped from private industry to a public sector company in the defense industry, of course, things were a little difficult for me, because to getting adjusted from a private enterprise to a public sector enterprise was a little challenging. But then to keep myself updated, to keep myself challenged, I took a lot of personal initiatives, and some of the initiatives that I took was to upgrade my knowledge, to upgrade my understanding of the business. I took up a course in PMP, that is project management. So I enrolled myself as a project management professional. I also became a CII Business Excellence Certified Assessor. So that was another initiative which I took, and to understand the nuances of business, not only in my own company, but in other companies as well. And how can those companies grow towards achieving excellence in their work environments. Now, so this is what basically has been my journey through, and in the last 30 years, I would say it has been a very satisfying and accomplished career path that I have treaded till now.
Mr. Kansal, thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And I must say your career journey is truly inspiring. Conversation, our viewers would like to know, what motivated your transition from international marketing at BEL to overseeing corporate communication and subsequently leading projects in military communication?
Yes, you see, as I said, I started my career in BEL, that's the Defense Public Sector Company, in the year 2000. And International Marketing Division was my first job profile, wherein I was handling countries in the Southeast Asian region as well as in the Latin American region. So being in international marketing gave me a lot of exposure to the company per se. Because this is a very vast company having 9 manufacturing locations all over the country, manufacturing, producing multitude of products for various roles for defense services, Army, Navy, Air Force, paramilitary forces. So it's really very difficult for one person to know each and every aspect of the company. But being in this department helped me understand the overall portfolio of the company. Because when I have to market my products in a foreign country, I would not know which product the customer would ask for. So it could be a product which was manufactured in one factory. It could be a product manufactured in some other factory. So I got to know, I should know about both the products, which may be totally different technologies, totally different domains, totally different applications altogether. So being here really helped me in understanding the overall technology which was used by the company in designing, developing, manufacturing products for the defense industry per se. But yes, over a period of time, one wants to look at changes. So that is what prompted me to look at change from international marketing to the domestic marketing. In fact, for this company, domestic market, that's the Indian Defense Forces, is the main bread and butter. So, and exports plays a very small role in the overall top line of the company. So wanted to have a look at the domestic part of it as well, and that is where I joined the communications department in Bangalore. I was there for about 6 years, and incidentally, to my luck, the department where I joined was handling some of the very large ticket communication projects for the Indian Defense Forces. And I happen to be the project manager for 2 such large projects, the communication project and the software defined radios, which is again the next generation mode of communication in the field of defense. That is where I really applied my project management skills and learned a lot handling such large ticket, big ticket projects. Having spent about 6 years in this department handling communication projects, then I believe company recognized my skills in communications, marketing, PR, branding, advertising, and that is where they promoted me and made me the in charge of the corporate communications department for the company at the headquarters. So I was looking after the complete corporate communications for the company as a whole, reporting to the director marketing of the company in Bangalore. So that gave me an opportunity to really look at how can I brand the company, how can I promote the company, how can I advertise the company to the market. See, ultimately, we are a public limited company now. And of course, we do have our set customers and business is assured. But then with the opening up of the defense sector to the private players, the competition started setting in. So one has to now look at how to market yourself to the customers who may be known to you, who may be understanding what you do, but still, since there is competitions, one has to compete like a true player. That is where the role of communication to the market, to the stakeholders comes in, to your employees, to internal communication as well as external communications, through your websites, through your newsletters, through advertising in various media, defense media, non-defense media, newspapers, magazines, then promoting your company through participation in various exhibitions, through participation in various events, sponsoring events for the customer and even for and even other government organizations or other private organizations, coordinating very closely with CII, with FICCI, with PhD Chambers of Commerce was again a part of my product portfolio. So that is what I believe really helped me showcase my real marketing skills, and because of which I could in fact bring in a lot of changes in the way the company's branding was earlier, prior to my joining this department, and after I left the department in 2019. I can say with pride that the company really had a very big image build-up exercise which had already been done by my department and by my teammates. And then once I completed this profile, I got another opportunity, which is again, I would thank my board of directors and my management to have given me an opportunity to set up and operate a foreign office for the company, right, in one of the Asian regions. And I was very lucky to have set up that office and ran that office for about 3.5 years. And again, I would say that was one of the biggest achievements in my career, that I could bring in a lot of business for the organization from that country. So that was again a very first for all the foreign offices which the company has been operating for the last few years now. Yeah, so there has been really very, very challenging and exciting path till now in this company.
That really sounds incredible, Mr. Kansal. So building on to that, our viewers would like to know, can you provide an example where your strategic approach led to a positive outcome for the business?
Sure. In fact, I can provide 2 examples which helped me use my project management skills, my project management understanding, the aspects of project management as to how to handle human resources, how to handle resources, how to handle logistics partners, how to handle internal management, how to handle finance, particularly, which is a very, very important part of the total project. So that is where, in fact, I would like to narrate that for this big ticket project, which I was handling in the communications department, it was a network of networks. If you could understand what I mean, that in a theater, in a battlefield, you have various levels of hierarchy in a battlefield in the Indian Army, in the defense forces. So all these levels, from smaller level to the largest level, to the commander level, to the chief level, the communication has to happen smoothly. Now, with the introduction of, earlier days, the defense industry had dependency on ruggedized systems, which could work in difficult terrains and in difficult environmental conditions. But then the defense industry, all over the world for that matter, started realizing that even COTS products, that is commercial off-the-shelf products, could also be used in such difficult terrains, provided they are ruggedized to a certain extent, not to the extent which was there earlier as a specialized product or a component, but even the COTS products could be ruggedized and made to work in such difficult situations under different environmental conditions. So for this particular project, one had to look at interacting with many COTS vendors. So maybe about 25, 30 odd COTS vendors had to be interacted with. because their products were supposed to be a part of this big complex network, and they had to work over a period of, say, more than 15, 20, 30 years. So the choice of the partner, which we were doing it at that juncture where we were in the project process of conceptualizing the network and finalizing the partners, which is where, since being a project manager, I was involved in. So I ensured that the interaction with these partners has to be documented very, very well, because this documentation which we are doing with the partners, the agreements that we are going to sign with the partners, whether it is with respect to the services that they're going to provide over a long period of time, or the pricing that they're going to provide over a long period of time, or the kind of upgradation and support services over once the technology changes. Every 6 months, 1 year, the IT technology changes. So so the customer would also ask for upgraded technology. So the vendor had to be assured, had to assure us that whatever product or system that he is providing has to withstand the technological upgradations over a period of 15, 20 years. So the choice of the partner was very, very critical. So that is where I came in, and I ensured that all the partners whom we were choosing were properly documented. It was approved by the management, by the concerned technical experts, and there was a record available that why are we choosing this partner, what is it that he's going to bring on the table, what is going to be the terms and conditions under which he's going to provide us support services over a period of time, because my company is the lead company. I have further 15, 20 or 30 partners from whom I have to seek support. So having documented that business arrangements with various COTS vendors helped me to address the cost challenges which the customer had posed us. For such a large ticket project, I have to justify the cost that I'm charging. It could be 1,000 crores, it could be 2,000 crores, it could be 5,000 crores. I mean, I could quote any price, but I cannot quote any price that I like. So I have to justify the cost that I am charging from the customer. So, and that justification can only happen if I am being transparent in telling my customer that these are the vendors that I have chosen, these are the prices that they have quoted, these are the margins that I built in, these are the kind of support services that I'm going to provide, and hence the cost escalation that I may have done. So that is what helped me later. In fact, by the time I had already left the department, but I came to know later that all the files that I had created, all the agreements that I had created came in handy in undergoing the cost audit by the Indian Defense Forces, and helped the company come up clean with respect to the transparency with which we had done the costing. So we were not overcharging the customer, we were not undercharging the customer, but we were being very, very clear that whatever we are charging is the value for money that the customer is going to get for that project that they're going to invest in. So that was one thing which helped the company per se, the strategic approach that I applied, that I envisaged, should I say, in how it could bring in benefit to the organization in the later part of the years of this project. That was one such project which helped me bring in the strategic advantage to the organization. The second thing which I would like to speak with confidence is that the defense company is always very cagey about sharing information, because it is all very secretive, it is all very confidential, and one can, because of the adversaries in and around you. So we would not want any confidential information to be shared with the public unnecessarily, only on need-to-know basis. But since this is a time of social media, this is the time of information where information flow is happening all across the world, and nobody can really keep secrets for long. So that was a challenge for me to bring my company in tune with the current trends in the market. The Ministry of Defense was, of course, also trying to bring in norms and regulations and rules as to how could the defense organizations be using social media to share information with the general public. So that was a big challenge for me in my company when I was heading the corporate communications department in this company. And that is where, of course, keeping my management in the loop, by keeping my board of directors in the loop, I designed a policy for the company as to how could we use Twitter and Facebook for the organization and for the chairman and managing director to do brand building for the company, to do marketing for the company, and to do advertising for the company. At the same time, keep the information secure, but whatever information that is needed to be shared with the shareholders, with the stakeholders, with the employees, with partners, with vendors, could be done through these social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook. So my policy document that I created to introduce this company into Facebook and Twitter was again my initiative, and which really has proved in very, very beneficial for the organization in the years today. That in the last few years, the company has been able to communicate with the shareholders and with this with the stakeholders at a much faster pace than it used to be earlier through advertising, through the newspapers or magazines. So these were the two, I would say, the approaches that I used to bring about strategic changes in the way the company looks at from the business point of view.
Amazing, Mr. Kansal. So now that we have discussed your career journey, your roles and responsibilities, let's dive into the subject of ESG and corporate governance. So here is my question to you, and a very obvious one. How and when did you develop an interest in ESG and corporate governance?
Great. See, as I said, I joined this defense public sector company in the year 2000. And ever since I have joined this company, I saw that the area that the company manages, it's a huge area, whether it is in Bangalore or in other parts of the country as well, wherever the company has manufacturing facilities. The one thing which is great about this organization is that they have maintained it so well. I mean, there is a lot of green cover, there are a lot of gardens, there is a lot of pathways, directions properly displayed, and neatness in the full complex. No dirt, no unnecessary things being thrown here and there. All inward goods, all finished goods, all products which are supposed to be dispatched to the customers, all are kept in the place where they're supposed to be. Using this concept of 5S. Plus, at the same time, keeping the environment in mind. So that is what I have been seeing for the last 20 years now. See, ESG as a concept, corporate governance as a concept is, they are, I guess, very recent terminologies, but the use of or the basic fundamentals of taking care of your environment, taking care of your society, taking care of the employees has been there right from the day one. I mean, ever since I joined this organization, maybe even before that, before this organization ever started. Then company undertaking various CSR projects, using various technologies to recycle waste, to recycle food in the canteens, to recycle water, and to use that water again for gardening purposes. Using cycle within the complex in case one has to move from one part of the factory to another part of the factory, using cycle, so you don't pollute using any vehicles inside the complex. So these are the various things which I was seeing all this, and now when I read about it, now when I see, when I'm more aware of this concept of ESG, I really appreciate and see that yes, what my company has been doing for the last 20-25 years is becoming important today, or is being talked about it today. So that was one instance which really helped me get interested in this concept of ESG and corporate governance. And of course, corporate governance, because we hear various frauds, financial frauds, even other administrative frauds which are happening in various countries with various companies, and Western world is not to really be preaching us as to how to do corporate governance in various businesses or business practices. So this is what has really opened up my mind to this concept of ESG and corporate governance. And one thing which I would also like to narrate here is that some time back, a couple of years back, I happened to see a movie which was based on my city in Punjab. And that movie actually was based on one ex-army man who was trying to train his daughter in swimming. So every morning they used to get up at about 4:30 in the morning. They used to go to the small riverside and the girl used to swim, and the captain the army man used to time her swimming speed. And over a period of time, while she was practicing, that the speed slowly decreased, and the girl started suffering from some disease. And finally, it was found that the girl cannot swim any longer, and finally she passed away. And on fact finding thing, they found out that actually the reason for her building up the disease was the pollution in the river, the water pollution. The factories, the thermal plants were releasing carcinogenic material in the water, and that is what the water was getting contaminated. And because she was swimming in that water, that she was not able to breathe properly, and hence that led to her maybe lungs problem or some other problem, because of which she passed away. So that is another thing which was an eye opener for me, that how water pollution, the groundwater which is getting polluted by industries, by releasing of these carcinogenic chemicals inside the water or outside the premises, is getting merged with the water, underground water, and that is finally getting used for even agriculture. So even our fruits and vegetables which are being grown are using such contaminated water. So that is where this concept of environment control, climate control, pollution control in various aspects of our life has to be given due importance. And that is what really enlightened me to this concept. And I really believe that, yes, I think these are the things which are important, and which in whatever little way that I could contribute through my working life, I will definitely try to give my contribution.
Well, Mr. Kansal, before we conclude our discussion on this particular subject, I would like to quickly ask you, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Well, yes, you see, as we know, charity begins at home. So I, as a person, am fully responsible for what I give the society before I start preaching to anybody else. So I have to, first of all, be sanguine of the fact that I need to be mindful of how I am contributing to greener environment, how I am contributing to keeping things transparent, how I am contributing to being to show my integrity towards my organization, towards my society. And secondly, you see, while we are looking at personal aspects, even in professional life, the full value chain partners, the customers, stakeholders, all these people have to be taken along with you. So you have to spread that knowledge across, or spread that understanding across to all your stakeholders, both backhand and front end. Then, as we all know, that we were all taught by our parents at home and teachers in school that we have to follow the path of truthfulness. Now, howsoever difficult it may be, the same thing applies to the corporate world. I mean, corporate world has to look at how can they truthfully, with integrity, report their financial results. I mean, this is very, very important. And the companies have to have a healthy balance of triple bottom line. I mean, of course, the basic purpose of setting up an organization is to make profit, but at the same time, one needs to be mindful of the fact that they are also responsible to the society at large where they are operating, the stakeholders, the customers, the employees. So all this really requires due attention to be given by the organizations, by the management, by the board of directors, which ultimately will help you to be to survive long term in this environment, for your long term sustainability. So the organizations have to be mindful of this fact, and that is where I believe that through my role, through my contribution to my organization, I would ensure that the reporting is proper, reporting is transparent. Being a communication expert, I would say the communication to the stakeholders has to be very transparent and open. And if there is something wrong, it has to be reported. If there is something right, that has to be definitely reported. So both ways holds true. we hear of stubble burning in Punjab and in Haryana and Delhi getting polluted. So that needs to be again be brought to attention to the public, that yes, pollution ultimately is creating havoc for all of us, the society. The children are suffering, older people are suffering. Uh, of course, the children are also mindful of the fact that Diwali crackers also add to pollution. Fine, they do. So one has to be one has to take into account that they should not burn those crackers which are more polluting than the ones which are less polluting. So these aspects definitely are the ones which one has to keep in mind, and this is what you can at your level contribute to the way in which you bring these values to your work environment in your personal life as well as in your professional life. And ultimately, like we say, every drop adding to the ocean. I would consider myself as a drop which is adding to this ocean of understanding of the importance of ESG and corporate governance, and we all ultimately are contributing to make this business world a much better place to be in.
All right. So, as someone working closely with technology, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? That is part A. And part B is, what changes do you expect to see with the advent of technology like IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, etc., etc.?
Sure. You see, as I said in my beginning, in my first question, that when I started working, I saw how technology in the country came in, and how we moved from standalone computers to network computers to internet based computing through and remote connectivity. Earlier it was only voice, then video also joined in, then data became a big thing. So I have seen the growth of technology in the country since early 90s. And ultimately, it has really been a boon for the society at large. The manufacturing industry, for that matter, earlier we used to use lathes, the manual lathes, which were replaced with the automated CNC machines. And now, of course, you have automated assembly lines. So the amount of production that used to happen earlier in a day, now it is happening in a few hours. And the decision making, which earlier used to happen, say over a period of time by writing letters or by writing, should I say, telegrams, which of course were fast enough, but still not as fast as sending an email or a WhatsApp message. So you can make companies have small groups, they can make WhatsApp messages and they can exchange information and take an informed decision. Board meetings are now happening through video conferencing, which is again is a new use of technology. Earlier board meetings, people had to travel, so used to take days and months, and months of planning, for that matter, should I say, and the amount of time and energy and money that you spend in traveling. So you're adding to the pollution. So that gets reduced by using this technology of video conferencing, where you can have all the meetings, business meetings. People don't have to travel. So the amount of travel is reduced to that extent. And the amount of expenditure on the company's bottom line also improves. So the technology has definitely helped people individually, helped people in families, and helped in organizations as large as multi-sector, multi-locational companies. Use of robotics has been really a boon for the manufacturing industry. Robots earlier manufacturing activities which were done by manual labor are being done by robots now. So the amount of accidents, so the number of accidents which earlier were expected have reduced. The efficiency has improved. Fatigue has reduced. Then the data mining is again something which is bringing in a lot of changes in the way data is being used to take decisions. Churning out papers and going through multitude of papers used to take a lot of time. Now you have artificial intelligence tools to look at lots and lots of data and give you results in no time. So the amount of time that you save in using AI and ML by using these algorithms to help you sift through lots and lots of data and come out with an informed decision or informed information which you can use to take decisions is again a big boon. Cyber technology, we of course we are in this world where we are all connected with each other. We share a lot of information on social media platforms. So that brings us to this very important concept of cyber warfare, cyber crimes, online frauds. So that is where blockchain technology has come in. Web 3.0 has come in, which will at least take care of such cyber frauds, which earlier were happening through Web 2.0. With Web 3.0, with the decentralization of storage of data through blockchain, and with much more security than earlier, which was possible, is again providing a lot of benefits to industries which have a lot of sensitive information which is available on the net, finance and fintech companies, or maybe even in defense. Defense industry, for that matter, has undergone a lot of changes because of advent of technology and the use of technology on a very large scale. Earlier, as I was sharing with you, that the decision making by the commander based on the information provided by a front soldier, it used to take a pretty long time. But now this concept, which I would like to share with all my viewers as well, that there is a concept called future infantry soldier as a system. So one soldier is like a computer, walking, talking computer. He has all the sensors on his body. He has night vision devices on his helmet. He has communication radios on his body. He has firearms on his body. And he's carrying even nuts and some eatables so that can keep him healthy and satiated while he's engaged in some warlike situations. He is able to communicate with his bosses in no time. He's able to give live pictures while he's operating in a particular scenario. He's able to talk. He's able, and there are sensors on the body which are giving his health status, whether he's running any temperature, whether his heartbeat is okay, whether his blood pressure is okay, and his eyesight is okay, his hearing abilities are okay. So all these are through sensors that information is being collated and passed on to his bosses, decision makers, so that the decision makers know that my soldier is still alive and kicking and running, and he's able to provide me the required information which I need, the timely information, because the sensor to shooter time is very short. So future infantry soldier as a system is really a technology which is really transformed the way warfares are fought these days. The wars are fought these days. Of course, we all hear about various other technologies like drones and unmanned aerial systems, and then jammers and electronic warfare with information being jammed, signals being jammed, data being jammed, and of course, it is all counterproductive, which at the same time. But then these are all technologies which have been deployed by the defense forces and even in the general business environment as well. I was making a mention of software-defined radios, which is another technology which helps you communicate in different frequency bands, even when you're not able to see the other person with whom you are communicating. Right. So you're able to communicate. Then using of SATCOM, secure SATCOM, satellite communication technology, tropospheric communication technologies is another. SATCOM is a very big field space technology is coming in these days, which is providing communication information, geospatial information, which is available to us in no time about any terrain in which the enemy is, or in which on which you want to fight a war. And suppose even in fact, the state governments are using such disaster management technologies, which give you live information about where the people are stuck in case there is any natural calamity or natural disaster. And in no time, you can reach them and provide the services required. I mean, live example is we have about 40 odd people working in one of the tunnels, which is currently under siege, and And we are using all kinds of technology, communication technology and drilling technology to, and I think artificial intelligence also must be used there to how to reach those people who are stuck inside. So I think all these technology and incidentally, all these technologies, whether it's AI, ML, IoT, big data, Web 3.0, blockchain, these are all interconnected. They're all complementing each other in providing the resources, information, decision making faster, and at the same time reducing the workload that earlier, which was so making a human being more efficient and more effective and more productive. So that is where I would say that the use of these technologies has really helped people appreciate the advantages of these technologies in the day-to-day work environment, whether it be personal or professional.
Yeah. So, Kansal, thank you for sharing such amazing insights into this subject. So this brings us to the last question of the session. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
Well, I would say that it has been a tremendous effort on the part of WDC and Mr. Mehta and Mr. Zishan Pathan. I would say that these are all evolutions or revolutions which are happening in the country. I would rate it as one such transitional phase which we are going through at the moment. If you remember, we had a time when these Japanese concepts like 5S, Kaizen, Six Sigma, JIT being used in the industry, and that became a buzzword. All organizations, whether in manufacturing or non-manufacturing, were using these concepts to improve their processes, to improve their manufacturing cycles, or even or other non-manufacturing processes as well. So which led to a lot of improvement from the earlier times. Then we had this concept of Agile, Scrum, and various software models, the models for development of software. So which again became a trend, and most of the software development companies started using those models to bring efficiencies in their software development and processes, which was again a transition from the earlier ways to the new ways of development of software. Then we had this concept of project management, which PMI USA brought into the world. And people started getting enrolled as PMP professionals, and the concept of project management to run a business, to run various parts of the business became a trend, and it really became a norm again. So everybody, or most of the organizations all over the world, including India, wanted their employees and managers to become PMP certified so that they could bring in additional benefits to the organization in the working environment. So that was again a trend, and which is still, so all these things which I'm narrating are all which are continuing. We started as a trend, and which have become more of hygiene factors now. Then this business models, excellence business models, and CII Exim Bank also started this CII Exim Bank business model, and most of the organizations again adopted that model in their work and try to implement them so that they could reach a certain level of excellence in their work environment. Similarly, WDC is also one such revolution which is happening in this country these days, in the last few years, and which I think WDC is a torchbearer for that matter, wherein they are bringing in a new age concept of networking and cross-pollination of senior managers, senior officers, directors, or one level below director position people who have a plethora and wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience. Now, experience not in terms of number of years, but experience in terms of the amount of work that they've done on the ground. And that is what really makes you more wise, and which you can share with people in this community through WDC's interactive efforts that they are bringing in to make people learn from others. We say, we have one life and we cannot make mistakes all across. We have to learn from others' mistakes as well. So similarly, we learn from others' experiences, we learn from others' knowledge, we learn from others' insights, and try to imbibe them, try to use them in your own work environment and grow yourself, and then further and pass the buck to the next generation so that they can further continue with that mantle of building efficient organizations, building world-class organizations in the years to come. And that is where I guess WDC is playing a major role, a pivotal role in bringing this concept of sharing knowledge through such means. And I'm sure it is going to go great, and many more people are going to benefit from this initiative.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Ashish Kansal, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.